So much energy is wasted when one lives with tics or Tourette's. I was chatting to um, a parent just this morning, actually, about their little boy who has a moving body. And I've had these same conversations again and again for years. And something stood out and inspired me to record this video today. He asked me the question. So I noticed that he seems to tic more when he's tired. Is that normal? Is that common? Is that something that happens? Did you experience it? I mean, I know that I used to tic way more when I was tired, and it made me think just how much energy is wasted in a ticking body. When a body's doing this thing constantly for thousands of times every single day, thousands and thousands of times, how much energy of life, of potential is being wasted and juiced through this obsessive nature of this body? Right? It's so much. It's so much wastefulness. You know, God gives us this opportunity to live, right? And if you don't believe in God, you have an opportunity to live. You live. You have so much finite energy every single day to experience reality, to be here. And we've got to the point, many people with tics and Tourette's are like, oh yeah, but it's just who I am, you know? I'm just gonna live with it. You know, there's no cure, so, you know, just accept me, you know? Right? It's like, accept yourself and then make a decision to heal yourself. The world ain't there. The world out there ain't going to fix you. You got to sort it out yourself. Now, of course, if you're a younger person, like a child or a teen, somehow you stumbled upon this video and this website, then you no doubt can receive support from your parents, your guardians, and those around you, of course. And even as adults, we seek support and guidance to help us move beyond things. But nobody's going to come and save us. We have to make the decision to go about and do that. So much energy. If I look back, so much of my energy was wasted. Not just in the movement itself, which is tiring, right? The urge and the movement, 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 the urge. It's constant. It's constant, right? Not only is that used up the energy, it's all of like the inner kind of psychic mind energy and emotional turmoil that for me was the biggest problem, really. It was the obsessive thoughts, the constantly worrying and battling about, oh, what have other people going to think of me? I need to hold it. I need to hold it. I need to hide myself. Right? The anxiety of just not feeling safe and having like holding different beliefs in my experience. One to protect me, one which actually feels more true, but I don't want to, I'm scared. Right? It's basically anxiety, two beliefs that are battling inside of us. And we learn how to let go of beliefs, right? Then actually there's no battling, there's no anxiety. So look, so much energy is being wasted if you're experiencing this condition. It's like, wake up and do something about it. Change your life. Make some clear decisions. Like, do something for yourself this week. Right? Do something different today. Choose betterment. I think I'm slightly riled up in this moment. Can you feel it? Because I just had a client who booked in a session for about 40 minutes ago. He just didn't show up. And it's like, what a waste. What a waste of his time and my time, his money, right? And my time, you know, and a pedantic or skeptic perspective of this would be like, well, great, you don't have to work. You got paid, but you don't actually have to work. But the other perspective is, no, like I work on integrity, on mutual journeying. Right? I thrive on supporting as much as I do receiving. It's like it's mutual respect in showing up for one another, you know? It's not just about the money. It's like, let's go on a journey together. It is intimate and sensitive and highly vulnerable to reveal myself and to teach what I know. Probably more so than just learning how to stop ticking itself in the first place. So, thank you for receiving my aliveness, YouTube. It's there's lots going on in the world right now. I mean, in the micro and the macro. I mean, what is going on out there right now? There's so much happening in the world. It feels like it's non-stop, right? Like, illusions are being blasted away. Trickery of our systems are dissolving, right? And I'm watching the mainstream media at the moment, just like grappling on to like some sense of, no, we're the ones in control. Oh, no, maybe we're not. Oh. And the realization there's actually some dark things that have been happening in the undercurrents of one of the biggest superpowers of the world. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on what's going on with Doge and Musk and Trump within the US government right now, but it's insane. Wow. I'm heading off on a segue, but in some way it's all related, right? Can we find peace in amongst it all? Can we find some resemblance of nowness and some gentle quieting of the mind? If you think you know what you're doing in life, just check in again. I don't think anybody knows. We make up stories that give us the illusion that we think there's some sort of fixed idea about how we should be or what we should do or what we should create or how we should be of service or what a good life might look like, or we've created all these stories. But beyond all of that, there is no right way or wrong way or bad way. If anything, we're here just to suffer. No? And like tics, Tourettes, isn't that like one of the most ultimate ways to suffer? Right? To live in a body that's so unsafe and constantly bombarding oneself with misery all the time, and frustration and lack of control and anxiety. What better way to create suffering than to be looked at by people all the time because you look different? What better way to create suffering than this condition? Can we see it like this? Can we see this condition as a way of going, oh yeah, I've created this suffering for me, because creating suffering gives me the opportunity of getting beyond it. Creating the suffering gives me the opportunity of getting beyond it. Creating suffering gives me the opportunity of getting beyond it, because it's the journey that matters. As soon as we become complacent, life gets boring and we die. Like, it's purposefully stressed so that we move, so that we exert, so that we create, so that we change, so that we evolve. And the upper accolades of this society knows that humanity right now is going through a hell of a metamorphosis. We are transitioning and transmuting like maybe never before as a species, how fast we're changing. And I see those of us that have tics or Tourettes are one of the greatest light bringers and light bearers that there are, because we know suffering. And if we take that and take the light that it's gifted us and the strength that it's gifted us, then we can turn it into something really quite phenomenally positive for the world. And I believe that. And yet at the same time, it is just a belief, and thus it is just a story, and thus it is an illusion anyway. And so what's beyond that? The empty void of nothingness? Existential dread? And so we create stories again. And then we have to create stories, otherwise we're just floating through the abyss of nothingness. Oh, I'm really letting one rip today on the channel. Yeah. Are you following me? Are you like following what's going on? Because I'm not. Because we don't need to. Sometimes we're allowed to just let go. Because if we're always overly controlling things, like our body and our thoughts, then we might create more suffering than necessary. So if anything, what I'm showing you today is like how to totally just let go and not give a rat's ass. Which can feel maybe to many of you a little bit, it might feel a bit jarring to some of you who have seen me as such a soft, gentle, loving creature for so long. And instead you're getting to see a little bit more rumptiousness coming through this being. And so I honor that part of me too, because it's all accepted and it's all welcomed, even though it might frighten some people. Although that's never my intent, but just to be unapologetically me. So I just made myself a lemon honey ginger drink. It's really quite delicious and feels very good on the being, body, mind, and soul. This. So that's quite a trip today. We talked about the energy, how much energy it takes to live with such a condition. Macro and micro, showing up, turning up, being here, taking a breath. I mean, I can move into so many facets of creation and reality. I'm still in awe of that. I do feel, though, sometimes it's tiring being on this path of such quite intense healing and for quite an extended period of time. And I don't think that everybody necessarily has that in them. And yet, hopefully, some of my videos might share a glimpse into at least my journey and my story that's unfolded, that you may or may not receive some insight or wisdom from for your own unique journey yourself. We all walk our own path. We all walk like our own steps down alongside the river of life, or we swim sometimes upstream, thinking, oh, I need to go that way. Oh no, maybe I should just carry on following downstream and just do what downstream does. Because I think downstream's probably the best way to go. At least that's all the spiritual teachers have taught me. It's just like jump in and follow it and trust it. And if we overcraft it, if we over finesse, if we over gloss, for example, our social media presence, then it's possible to see the bullshit, right? It's easy to see how well gleaned it is and the fakery and how actually there's something else going on, you know? And so if we reveal ourselves really, truly, vulnerably, I think that's the greatest strength that we can give the world. Just be who we are right now and share it openly with everybody. And then magic comes of that, no? Magic can come of that. If we just listen to what's going on outside, then listen to what's going on inside, and then allow whatever's happening inside to come out without too much control about what's coming out, but with more of a free-flowing, organic revelation and release of what wants to come out and through the body or the sounds. And I think that's a lesson here. There's another level of trust and surrender that can exist in the process of becoming here more. Whether that is healing a mental health condition or stress or anxiety or OCD or tics or ADHD or whatever word we want to put on something that doesn't feel quite balanced in our mind and body. Something that doesn't feel quite as embodied as it could be. Can you hear the birds in the background? The birds have suddenly become very alive, but I think this mic only picks up close-ups. And the dragonflies have been out today, and we've just had a big storm, and now the bluebirds are flying around again. The rain is still dripping off the side of my beautiful Balinese home. I can hear the river below. My bonsai tree is blooming. My seat is somewhat semi-comfortable, but not really comfortable, and I could do with a new seat. And next to me, there is some incense burning, keeping me grounded into the moment through the activation of smell, which really connects and brings about activation in the base of the brain, which helps us stay here. Also, I love getting lost in watching smoke from incense. I don't know if you have ever done this, but when you can just watch, when you just watch it, and it's probably going to move too fast for you here to see on screen. But when it's close up, you can just get mesmerized by the smoke. And by getting mesmerized by the smoke, it's just that in arriving more into here and now, without the inorganic matter getting in the way, the digitization of reality, the abstraction of reality, but in the infinite depth of base reality that exists through the elements of earth, fire, water, air. And to me, the elements of earth, fire, water, air are like the ones and zeros of the digital world. It's the base forces that creates everything else. But it's more of like a quantum-esque computer, as opposed to just ones and zeros thrown down silicon circuitry that create all of the magic that we see in the screens today. So the closer we get to the elements, fire, earth, water, wind, and the closer we get to our body, because our body is made up of all of them. The fire in our solar plexus, the water of which 80%, 90% of us is made up of, right? Or the air, the breath that comes in and out of us all the time to animate life. And the earth, the actual matter, the cells, the molecules that we're borrowing from the earth beneath us. This is life. This is close to life. This is as close to life as we can get. And the only reason why we might tic or have Tourette's is because somewhere along the line we've tried to control something too much. We've created a mind which is trying to control the energy coming through us. In some sort of unconscious patterning, we do it unconsciously. We haven't created it intently. And my journey, my journeying has got so close to that. So close to what had been created in me when I was young so that I could reverse it and support others to reverse it too. In the new MTM Family Method program that I launched last year, we actually explore what the elements feel like in the body. What does it mean to experience fire in the body, or water in the body, or earth in the body, or air? Because we want to get comfortable with different energies and emotions inside the body so that we're not scared of the sensations in our body. If we get scared of the sensations in the body, we try to control it. And if we try to control it, then we create these kind of dense, intense movements or sounds instead of being more free with the sounds or the movements in the tics or Tourette's. For those of you that have had the courage to watch all 21 minutes here, I bow to you. There's a little ant on my second little toe tickling me. I'm kind of worried he's about to bite me. So they kind of do that here in the jungle of Bali. But that was a little ant. Some of them are big, like big freaking ants. And if I leave food out, they will find their way to food. Yeah, so don't leave food out when you live next to a jungle, in a jungle, on the edge of a jungle. That's a bad idea. It is. So, well, I feel to go now. I'm sending you, my dear video watcher, some loving vibes from Mama Bali to wherever you are in the world. The blessed island of Bali, where they have been holding in sacred connection, harmony, and culture for eons, an ancient practice of spirit, which very few religions still get around the world. And they've kept some things intact that a lot of the West have totally forgotten about in the bridging of worlds. And I am so honored myself to be welcomed into this land and to experience this land and these people and what they have offered me and may continue to offer me. I hold close to my heart, in my heart, as my heart. And I want to share a little bit of that love with you here. Have a beautiful day or evening or night, wherever you are, however you are, and whenever you do watch this. And until next time, God bless.